Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about Lorcana's prices again. And look at that. Well, prices are still falling at this moment. The trove of the first chapter has not dropped. Still 157. I don't think there's been a reprint just yet. But what's interesting is the Elsa Enchanted hasn't really budged on its price. Again, I don't know the demand for it, but it's like it was slowly declining down to 400, but then it started picking up some buyers and stuff. But it hasn't really dropped under 400, which is quite interesting because we go to look at these other cards. Stitch. Market value 189. Shows 145. Let's see. Lightly played. Near mint is around 148. That's insane. Again, a lot of these enchanteds are dropping due to the fact that, well, the first chapter got reprinted. It got reprinted to oblivion. We're going to see that in the booster box. The booster box actually went as low as $148, I'm pretty sure, but it was plus shipping. So around 159 is roughly the lowest price for a booster box that has happened. Again, shipping included, 160. So it's a pretty good deal. But again, it's the booster box is still dropping. But we haven't seen the Euro reprint, which happens in about 11 days. So if you're in Europe, maybe go check out your local LGSs. Maybe they have some some booster box coming in pretty soon. Really depends. I'm not too sure how big of a reprint Europe is going to get. But again, looking at these prices, they have got hit pretty hard. Now, so again, going forward with this, you really have to go into the actual opening it up and just double checking that it is a near mint that's being sold at that price. So you just got to double check on that when you're dealing with listings, because again, rotations are going to start happening when it gets closer to the third set. You probably see some cards dropping that were really prevalent, but then you're also going to see cards that are just not going to be used no more. So those high-end cards that are being used in meta decks could relatively change the market. Now, Enchanted Rares are a different story. That's the investment I chose the route of. And a sealed collection with the gift sets. Get a gift set for every set and a booster box. The starter decks, I don't know. Probably still going to buy the starter decks for the next set, but who knows? The prices don't really move that much. They're easily printed, so I might not buy the starter decks for the next set. So probably just a booster box of the gift set. And if I see an enchanted rare I like, I may buy. And then later on we'll show the promos. Now, so my biggest L right now is the Cinderella Ballroom. Now again, I paid like $300. Now it's $189. Again, a big L. But again, I really wanted this card, and I was like, is he going to run away like Elsa? Well, right now we haven't really seen that just yet. But what's staggering is Cinderella and Alice are like head to head right now. So it's actually quite interesting if Alice is going to overthrow Cinderella. Now, the Floodborn for Lorcana is still sitting at 188. Again, this set has not got the reprint yet. It's because it just came out, and then Europe, again, is getting more stuff on the 22nd. So again, we got to see what Floodborn, if it's actually going to move the price at all. Again, we do expect price movement around in the first chapter. Now again, how big of a high demand this is? Well, recently at my local Walmart, and I've been seeing a lot of people, there have been loads of Lorcana product coming in. So again, my store restocks Thursday night. So on Friday, I will have more information if restocks are going to be frequent in Lorcana, and that's what we're really looking forward to. And that's what we're going to look forward to Floodborn. Our reprint's going to be happening. But again, right now with so much first chapter, we're seeing prices drop. It's not being scalped as fast, but it is still being scalped. It only lasts about probably 3-4 days, probably 3 days at my Walmart with the first with the first chapter. Like when I saw it, it was all stacked up, but then a couple hours later, someone took like a whole row of first chapter cards. It's like, oh, okay. And then the next day they still had some, and then someone took another row the next day, and then after that, the third day, it was all sold out. So people are still picking up the first chapter packs, even though the prices are dropping. But Elsa's still high, so maybe first chapter will be scalped a little harder than Floodborne. But again, Floodborne is a meta, so again, a lot more people are going to be wanting this stuff more. Again, I have never seen a Trove in a while besides on my LGS. That's just me. Now we're going to get into the promos because that's what we're talking about. So again, all the LGS's promos, they are all dropping, and now the PAX promos are dropping. $14, $22, $21. It's quite interesting going forward with that. And next is the Goofy, Mickey, Donald, not really moving that much. Again, one listing of Gaston. Again, we should check eBay, probably cheaper. I would say Gaston's probably around that $100 mark, which is, I think my next cards I'm going to get is probably the Musketeers, just because of the promo feel of it. Now, again, Mickey Mouse, just a PSA, stay, don't try FOMO into this Mickey Mouse, because again, there's a lot of fakes out there. So this is a pretty speculative one. $1,000. Again, I don't have that money to spend on that all at once. But if you want, this is probably the cheapest D23 promo. It's a first print technically, so it's up to you. So that's pretty much it. So overall, the market is still dropping. Besides Elsa, Elsa is pretty stubborn in its price. Again, I could also speculate there's maybe a lot of whales out there keeping this price up, because you haven't really seen a lot of them on YouTube talking about the Elsa anymore, because when the card was at like $700, they're buying it. Now it's at $460. Nobody really is talking about Elsa too much, but again, it's holding strong. And people are comparing this to a Charizard. So again, is $460 a good card price for a long-term investment? Maybe. I don't know. Again, Elsa's not my favorite Disney character. Again, minus Stitch is the path I chose. But again, first chapter, iconic characters. I wouldn't say Tinkerbell is iconic, because this is a giant fairy. Nobody probably really knows too much about that. Belle, people probably like Belle. Belle could be a top contender. This Wizard Mickey Mouse, it's Mickey Mouse, Aurora, Simba, and I think this guy's pretty popular. Not too much. Don't know too much about him. Genie is pretty popular, but the actor that played him passed away. So you have Will Smith. So again, if the other actor, I forgot his name, if he was still alive, this may be a card to pick up and try and get signed by him. But not really. I wouldn't say this is a good card for the long run. But it could give some memories. Again, Mickey Mouse. Again, there's two Mickey Mouse cards. So which one do you like more? Personally, I like the Wizard. So Aladdin, again, alternative art. Not really my style. Hades. It's just a forgettable character. And then we go to talk about these cards. Cinderella, I think, is iconic. Alice in Wonderland, iconic. Even though this is an alternative art type, Floodborne, I think this is a really good art style. Shishu, I'm not too sure how people like about it, but again, I like blue, so I like the color blue. So I think this card is really amazing. Arthur's iconic. Even though this is I think this is a Floodborne card. I think it might be if it loads. No, Storyborn. So yeah, this is an iconic card. Beast is pretty iconic. Hercules, again, I'm not a too fan of it, but again, people like Hercules. I don't know too much about Madam Min, so that's just not a card I resonate with. I hear a lot of people like this card, this Enchanted Rare, Shere Khan. Again, I think this is Jungle Book, but I didn't really watch Jungle Book too much, so I'm not really connected with this character, but it's iconic. Lady Tremaine, I'm not too sure where she's from. I think she's the 100 Dalmatians, but I don't know. She's not my favorite character. Pete, iconic, but nobody likes Pete, so Feel sad for the guy. Again, I want to see the card at Kingdom Hearts if they add his like outfit from Kingdom Hearts in one of these cards. That'd be pretty cool. And then Namura, um, it's a forgettable character. Again, the card looks badass. This like lion cat thing, it's amazing. So that's pretty much it. All I have to say. So again, prices are dropping. Wait till the 22nd, probably a couple days after the 22nd, see where prices go. Again, I do expect them to go lower. Again, booster boxes for the first chapter are hitting that MSRP. So again, scalpers are actually staying away a little bit. The top set right now is probably this one right here, Awakening. I think I talked about this. There's over a $1,800 card in it. And there's a lot of expensive cards in there. So this product right here is being scalped pretty hard. Again, at my store, it was all sold out. So again, they're moving away from Lorcana and going into One Piece, in my opinion. And then the new Pokemon set's coming out pretty soon next year. So it's gonna be quite interesting. So I would just stay cautious. Don't overspend on stuff that you don't have to. Again, these enchanted rares, I think, any besides Elsa, everything else is a good value besides the Trove. Everything else is a good value, in my opinion. Go in here, everything is a good value besides the booster box. So, and the Trove. The Trove is $20. I don't know. If you have some store credit to take off and go closer to 50, maybe. But again, the booster box isn't worth it. The Trove isn't worth it. The gift sets are still up in the air. It might be a good investment as a sealed collector, but that's pretty much it. So hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out.